I'm Ed Beach, and I'm the lead designer on Civilization VI.
And I'm Dennis Shirk, the lead producer on Sid Meier's Civilization VI. And today we're going to do a drive-by commentary on the announced teaser trailer for Civilization VI.
We are the explorers.
Exploration. That was certainly a high note for us in terms of what we thought was one of the best systems in any Civilization game. And we just took that and ran with it in terms of art style, user interface style, the way maps are central to everything in Civ 6.
And you're going to love it when you actually see the game, because our mid-fog, our fog of war all resembles a map now. So as you expose areas on the map, you actually have this mid-fog stylization that actually looks like a hand-drawn map in all those areas that you've already explored.
The inventors. The architects of change. The builders.
Okay, we just flew by some of the best sites from around the world. And I'll give some stuff away here about Civ 6, but it's going to be tough for you. You're going to have to puzzle together exactly how this works. You have just seen 2 Civilization unique improvements and 2 world wonders, but it's not obvious what's what.
I haven't seen any of these in the real world yet, and Ed, I'm going to guess you have?
I have not seen any of these either.
Let's hope for more press events
Yes.
in China, Egypt, Italy, etc.
Right, we have some places to see.
Of a better tomorrow.
This gentleman, I'd just like to point out to everybody, is not in our game at all.
Not a huge leader of one of the civs, but we think this shot is great because you can just see the city going on and on the distance. And to us, that's a Civilization 6 city, what it makes it different than, say, a Civ 5 city.
Yeah. I would say, though, just based on this particular view, I do think it would have been easier if they had maybe assembled the Eiffel Tower on its side and then stood it up. Less dangerous, maybe.
Yeah, we wonder whether this guy actually even survived the construction.
Right. Or how did he just go down? Did he go down for lunch? What happened at lunch? I guess they ate up there.
We strive. We dream. We inspire.
The Mona Lisa, Starry Night, 2 of the great works that appeared in Civ 5, and we're really happy to say that the great work system is back in Civilization 6. A lot of that very interesting cultural victory that was introduced in Brave New World, we have the same elements of those here. And that's actually one of the things that's so great about Civilization 6 right when it's being launched, is that we had the same design team that worked on those expansions for Civ 5 leading up the design for Civ 6. And so we were huge fans of those systems, and we didn't want to see them go away. So we decided, well, we're just going to keep it all for when Civ 6 comes right out of the gates.
And I got to give a shout out to our amazing UI team, because what they've done with the Great Work system is going to blow people's minds, because everybody's used to how it actually works in Brave New World. In Civilization 6, the presentation, the way you interact with it is gorgeous and beautiful and everything that the system deserves. It's going to surprise everybody. It's just amazing.
Always towards something greater.
Gandhi, he's been in Civ games before.
I often wonder if I think that's the face he makes just before he presses the button.
So we have some sort of other characters who may join Gandhi in Civilization lore as Civilization 6 gets into the hands of everybody. The leaders are going to have some very distinct ways they play the game now. We have an agenda system that's going to drive them to each have things they care very deeply about. And so Gandhi's going to have some friends in terms of interesting characters that you love and you hate when you play the game.
All the odds we defy.
Just want to say on a side note, this painting was actually in Civilization 5. It's actually one of my favorite paintings, but I'll just throw that out there and leave it there. It's just a beautiful work. I just got to say, the imagery that they were able to extract and bring to life in this is what amazes me the most. Some of these scenes, like this one, for example, and the scenes coming up, are just beautiful. You feel like they're there, except they're these living photos. They're just beautiful.
The risks we take.
All right, so we have an Apollo astronaut on the moon, and that sort of alludes to, one of the science victory that's always been in civilization games. We have made changes to the victory conditions. There's one victory type that's gone from Civ 5, one brand new one that has been added, and a number of them, including the space race, where the steps and process you go through to get there will be new and interesting. Teddy Roosevelt. Boy, very glad he made it into this trailer. Been reading a biography of Teddy Roosevelt recently, and I was stunned when I saw a sentence in that biography that was exactly the theory that we're using to build the diplomacy system for Civ 6. So anyways, his quote in this biography, it's from one of his addresses to Congress, and he says, "As civilization grows, warfare becomes less and less the normal condition of foreign relations." Well, that's exactly what we're doing. We're actually changing up the nature of diplomacy as you go through the eras. Warfare is going to be the normal condition early in the game, and then as you go through, everything's going to be formalized. You'll have to formally declare war. You'll establish embassies and so forth. So it's almost like Teddy Roosevelt is the game designer for Civ 6. Very weird.
The challenges we endure.
This image in particular, I believe, is of the CZECH Uprising, is, aside from being a really powerful image, very reminiscent of what we're trying to do in the game, because before Civilization 5 past versions of Civ, you only had the city center to conquer, but because the cities are spread out, they're spread out into the landscape, you're going to be fighting in your campus, you're going to be fighting in your holy site, your neighborhoods. So it just introduces a whole new level of decisions that you have to make to really defend what's yours.
Only make us stronger. There's no end to our imagination.
No end to your imagination. That's a very close reflection of what we're doing with our new technology system. We have a whole system of things you do to spark your people's imagination out in the world. We call them Eureka Moments or tech boosts. And they're real world activities that you undertake with your cities and your units. And because you've established a quarry, you know more about masonry, that technology is going to just naturally be something that you can develop very quickly. And so through this technology system, all of a sudden the tech tree, rather than being off on the side, it's integrated in with your gameplay. It just feels very fun and immersive, and like everything makes sense and fits together the way it should.
And no limit to civilization.
And just for reference, for those of you that didn't notice, Sean Bean did in fact make it the entire way through the teaser without anything tragic happening to him. So Sid Meier's Civilization 6 is coming out this fall. We're very excited. Ed's got a lot of work to do yet. He's got about 3,000 systems to balance, but he has promised me that he would think about adding Atlas to some future fantasy version of Civilization. So thank you all for watching.
And boy, yeah, that is a cool wonder. So I'm not sure what it would do. It's not very historical, but it is something we'll have to think about.